Hello, welcome to the weather hazard briefing presented by National Weather Service Pocatello for Thursday, November 21st. Here's what you'll see in this briefing. We have a winter storm warning that was issued earlier this week, and it continues today and tonight in central Idaho. It includes the Sawtooth, Upper Wood River region, and the Big Lost Highlands area. We're looking for 12 to 24 additional inches above the 8,000 foot elevation and 2 to 12 inches between that elevation and the elevation of around Haley's, around 5,300 feet. Then there's lighter snowfall for late tonight into Friday evening, and then we get another round of heavy snowfall just for the central Idaho mountains. It would be more moderate, possibly heavy for the upper Snake River Highlands. And elsewhere, probably a lot of rain. And then the next round of storms starts Monday afternoon. These storms will be colder, and the snow may reach lower elevations, and will actually affect the south and east area more than it will the central Idaho mountains. So we're going to take a look in detail at these first couple of storms. It will be mostly, like I said, affecting the central Idaho mountains. First, we'll start with the satellite, where it's been dumping some pretty good snow here. You can see these clouds sliding through. You can see they're not moving or progressing too much to the eastward as far as where they just keep going over the same areas, and that includes the Sawtooth and the Wood River Basin, at least for portions of it. And you can see maybe finally getting some light snow possible in the southern hills. So this is what we're looking at, some rain for most of the lower elevations. We're actually going to be warmer today than we were yesterday. And the same on Friday, some of our warmest temperatures. So rain, and then rain, snow. That's mostly lower elevation rain, higher elevation snow for both Eastern Highlands and Lost River area. And then the rain and snow, where the warnings are, the winter storm warnings, is the Wood River area and the Sawtooth area. And then they're also expecting some light snow in Lemhi County. On Friday, the snow will only continue over the Lost River, Wood River, Sawtooth area in Lemhi County, so just over the central Idaho mountains. And that is mostly late on Friday night. And then on Saturday, look for rain once again. Fairly warm temperatures for the Snake River Plain, Magic Valley, rain and snow based on elevation for the southern hills and southeast highlands. And then some pretty good snow for the eastern highlands, the Lost River area, and Lemhi County, both of which could reach what we call winter weather advisory conditions. And then we'll look out for the Wood River area and the Sawtooth, again, to be the most heavily affected. And again, it could be winter storm warning, which is why this is in orange. By Sunday, the light snow will be limited to evening time for the southeast highlands and eastern highlands. And then we have another storm coming in on Monday. This one will be approaching more from the south. So we're looking for some overnight rain in some of the lower elevations, and then afternoon rain and snow for a lot of our southern border and eastern border regions. And then later on, some overnight rain and snow on Monday night for the Wood River and Sawtooth areas. And just to give you an idea of where the warnings are in effect for today and tonight, there was earlier a winter weather advisory over in the Boise's western Idaho area, but that has since expired. And so it's this area up here, the Stanley Sawtooth, the upper portions of the Wood River Basin, and then here the upper portions of actually the Lost River Basin, well above Mackey area, as you can see. All right, so we will look at only really a couple of things, but it gets really complicated. There's a lot going on. High temperatures today, you can see warmer than yesterday, almost 50 degrees in some of the areas in the southern Snake River Plain, and definitely in the eastern Magic Valley. A lot of 30s and 40s, even Stanley getting to 42. And then overnight lows, still some cloud cover, so we get back into the 20s for the Arco Desert area, one of our colder locations for tonight. And then on Friday, you can see we're even warmer, mid 50s for Twin Falls and Burley, even Pocatello poking up over 50 degrees to 53, Stanley 47, And Friday night, as skies beginning to clear, you can see a lot colder temperatures now. Widespread areas in the Central Idaho Mountains below freezing, and that spills even into the Mud Lake and Arco Desert area, and even down into some of the eastern highlands. Then on Saturday, you can see finally the cold temperatures are coming back. Stanley will struggle to get above 40, Pocatello 46. And then overnight on Saturday night, once we really clear out, you can see temperatures getting more towards normal. A lot of teens in the Central Idaho Mountains and a lot of upper 20s now for the Snake River Plain and Eastern Magic Valley. All right, so let's look at the snowfall. That'll be the second thing we'll look at. Here's just late last night where it's been collecting under the southwest flow. Usually the places that best catch that are here in the Sawtooth and the Wood River Basin, and then over here in the Island Park area. It is, like I said, fairly warm. This is what we call an atmospheric river event, which is usually marked by subtropical air, which has certainly modified since it came out of the subtropics and is colder, but has a lot of moisture with it. And so that's why in a 6-hour period for late last night, you can see 4 to 6 inches above Galena Summit and up above to the west of it. So 4 to 6 just at Galena itself, 2 to 3 in Stanley overnight. Less than an inch in Haley, though, because the lower you go, the warmer it is, the less the snow ratios are, and the more it's likely to be rain. And then for this morning and then later on this afternoon, you can see it continues to be that way. And actually this morning it will spread out into the Snake River Plain, and even Blackfoot should get a skiff of snow. The same for the Arco Desert, and that will continue in the afternoon for some of these higher elevations. A lot of these lower ones, it's not that it's not precipitating, but it's not coming down as snow. It'll be more rain. You see Pocatello, pretty much guaranteed rain unless you're up on the benches, and you might see maybe a skiff of snow there. And then during the overnight hours, you can see it's sort of lighting up. It's more limited to the mountains. Again, it's still very mild air, and so the elevation is still fairly high, but it is now reaching over into Island Park. And you can see the amounts get considerably down after 11 p.m. tonight. And then for Friday morning and afternoon, you can see we're just getting really light snow now. This event will, the winter storm warnings do expire at 5 a.m. on Friday morning. Now you can see why. Not very much expected here. And then overnight into the late night hours, you can see here where this is where a winter storm warning may start again here after 11 p.m. on Friday night, as the snow starts to ramp up again from the next wave of moisture that comes out of that atmospheric river. You can see here on Saturday, both morning and afternoon, some pretty good amounts, a little bit less in the afternoon because it will be warm again. And again, that brings down the snow ratio, and also a lot of places it's turning over into rain. And then Saturday night, both periods, early the Saturday evening and late Saturday night, you can see it starts to tail off, especially here after 11 p.m. on Saturday night. So the event total snowfall for this first event that's getting over at 5 a.m. Friday, you can see 8 to 12 inches in Galena Summit, but by the time you get down to Ketchum, it's only 2 to 3. And again, you can see how much is limited to Central Idaho Mountains and then over into the Island Park area down into the Centennial Mountains. And a lot of those lower elevations, like in the Teton Valley and the upper Snake River Valley, very little going on there. Here's our basically our high-end maximum amount you might expect. High-end amount would be 13 inches up there in Galena, 4 inches in Ketchum. The low-end amount, 6 inches in Galena and less than an inch in Ketchum. And again, it could be, if the low-end amount verifies, it would be almost nothing here in Fremont and Clark County. All right, the risk of 4 inches of snow or more, you can see it's pretty good for a lot of these areas, solidly in the dark, 90% plus. Chances of 6 inches or more, it's fairly solid at a lot of these higher elevations. Not so much though. Ketchum here, you can go from 16% of 4 inches or more down to 1% for 6 inches or more. All right, and not everywhere is getting snow. Some places will get rain. You'll notice here a lot of locations in the eastern Magic Valley and the Snake River Plain will be getting some rain. You can see the only place that's really remaining rain-free is the southeast. Basically, if you're south and east of Pocatello, you don't have much of a risk for today and tonight, or tomorrow, Friday, and Friday night. And then here it is for Saturday and Saturday night. You can see now it's more spread all over, so this storm will be more encompassing, and the snow is even expanding a little bit. Again, a lot of this could be, that's why I say rain equivalent here. A lot of this will be snow. For instance, up in Stanley, that will convert to snow. But down in here in the lower elevations, a lot of it will remain as rain. That's all I have. If you have any further questions, you can always contact us at this telephone number here, or check out the weather yourself at weather.gov/Pocatello. Thanks for watching.